Good morning. Okay, my name is Jessica, and I will be representing the negative side to this debate. I am going to address why we shouldn't adopt the national healthcare policy for the United States, and I'm going to give you different reasons as to why. Okay, first off, big question: who's going to pay for the national healthcare policy? We'd be trying to solve many issues with just one solution, which would cause a chain of events to occur. The disadvantage of the national healthcare policy would cause more harm than it would cause help to our economy. According to an article titled "How Many Patients is Too Many?", a study was conducted to question if a physician could feasibly take on more patients to reach the standard of 2,500 patient panel. A patient panel is like how many patients that a doctor can handle in his time. And according to the analysis of the study, the researchers claim that indeed it wasn't feasible and nearly impossible to handle the size panel of 2,500 patients. This means that a doctor would have to work 21.7 hours a day to deliver the quality care to a panel of that size. With the single-payer healthcare system, the government would also set the prices for these doctors. These doctors have worked, been in school for 12 years. I mean, many of us, that's not what we want to do. We don't want to go to school for 12 years, but they took the time to go to school to do that, get the education. They're in debt themselves with, the education debt, or getting loans or whatever the case is. And then they're going to be basically regulated on how much they can charge these patients, which isn't fair, to people that have worked so hard to get to that point. And the United States is already in tremendous debt. I'm going to actually let you know how much we are in debt. We are, this is our debt clock right here. It's going up, it's moving up. You guys probably can't see it, but we're about $21 trillion in debt. And what's attributed to that is, for the healthcare costs, is about $8.1 trillion according to Forbes.com, and that's thanks to Obamacare. By 2025, they predict that it will increase to $13 million for healthcare costs. I mean, that just sounds crazy to me. And just because we have the access to healthcare doesn't mean that we have the access to care. And right now, how long do you think it would take to see a doctor? In the United States, according to, let's see, in the United States, it takes 24 days to see a doctor to set an appointment. In Great Britain, which Armando and Trent have talked about, it takes 13 days. Mind you, they have 66 million people. We have 327 million people. So that's why I wanted to use the board, because if we have 327 million, okay, and they have 66 million, if you multiply that by 5, you'll get 330 million people. Then we have something more comparable, to use. If we multiply 13-day waits by 5, you're going to get 65-day wait. If it was, if we want to have a common denominator of the two, we'll have around the same time. I mean, that doesn't, 65 days just to see a doctor, that doesn't make any sense. So that's just my point with, that it will cause longer wait times. Universal health care will. And, let's see. And that is all from the Telegraph Media Group, and this was in 2017, these statistics from Great Britain. And the Canadians, they also reported they have the longest wait times for specialists. And they wait 50% longer than the US to see a specialist, which is a big deal. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a time versus money aspect. I mean, it doesn't mean that you have the care that you need just because you have access to the free healthcare. And what else was I going to say? Sorry. So maybe there's like a better way to still try to get healthcare for individuals that don't have it. But the universal system in the United States is now in its 105th year, and not admitting to trying to finance something like that, it's going to be that it would be extremely difficult on how we spend it. Then we're going to fail it again the next time. There's different triggers that are associated with, the trying to get everybody on the same boat. Just like there's capacity, or there's weight limits on rides. We have 250-pound weight limit on a ride. You're not going to be able to ride the ride if you're 350 pounds. I'm not trying to say I don't know. But anyways, it's just saying that there's a capacity limit. We're trying to do something for a bigger population. So it might be more feasible for a smaller population. So I just wanted to reiterate that to you. And if we would try to change our lifestyle choices, then we could possibly have, if we were trying to change our lifestyle choices, then the cost of U.S. healthcare costs would actually go down, because with obesity, they're actually use 21% of the healthcare costs on that. And that is a preventable health issue. So with it being a right for all citizens, and then it wouldn't be fair to people who are actually healthy, conscious people. And thank you.